Welcome back here, CBS 12 News at 9. The role of fatherhood looks a lot different than it did a decade ago. That's according to the new to the Pew Research Center. A group that called Forged in Fatherhood is on a mission to raise the standard of fatherhood everywhere. And thanks for joining us here is Tyson Yonkers, who's going to tell us a little bit more about Forged in Fatherhood. You know, what does it do? Yeah,
so the concept behind Forged with Fatherhood is really that as a father, when you become a father, it's sort of by label only. And you only really truly become a father through your role as being a dad every day. And so the idea with Forged with Fatherhood is I want to take what it means to be a dad up to another level. I want the role of fathers, especially in their kids' lives, to really to reach new heights. I want that presence that they have with their kid to really be impactful so that they're passing on everything of who they are as a person to their kids.
So what are some of these specifics? What are these things that you try to pass on to these dads?
It took a while to do, where I really looked into the role of fatherhood and I said, okay, well, what are the different areas that really need to be worked on? And that's when I came up with the concept of like the 6 pillars of fatherhood.
Okay.
And so that is everything from compassion, trust, guidance, empowerment, resilience, and provision. And the idea behind it was that I didn't want fathers to just start by going, well, I'm going to fix my relationship with my kids. And it's like, well, a lot of times you have to look inward and you have to sort of fix yourself first before you can start helping your kids. And that's where that concept came from of that.
Where, you know, in all the dads that you've helped and the dads that you've spoken to, you know, where do you to see the big deficiencies at? Where do you feel like fathers fall short?
A lot of times it really comes down to fathers thinking that they don't have enough time to truly make that big of an impact on their kids' lives. I can't remember the study that was done, but there was a study done where it showed that fathers especially get around 37 minutes a day of FaceTime with their children. Wow. And so it's not necessarily about how do I extend that so now you have an hour, this or that. A lot of times that's the time you have. So it's how do you make that 37 minutes the most impactful that you can for your kids.
And what are some suggestions on how to do that? How do you make those 37 minutes count?
Well, 37 minutes is obviously not a long period of time. So what I always recommend, and we do this especially in the Forged in Fatherhood community, is we really look at habits that you have in daily life and what you can do that only takes a few minutes a day. One of the examples is making sure that you talk to your kids, or at least even leave them a note. If you have a father who leaves the house early, leave them a note that encourages their character, not just something that they've done, but who they are as a person, so that they can start feeling fulfilled themselves. And that's where that empowerment comes in, because we want to empower the kids to feel better about themselves.
And you've got an event coming up. You know, tell us all about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So on September 2nd, we're hosting the first Forged in Fatherhood. We call it the Forged in Fatherhood main event. And the idea is we have these 6 pillars. So we're going to have speakers come in, and they're going to cover a variety of them. We're going to try and touch on all of them. And we're really going to just try to help fathers see that you can do a lot better of a job with very minimal effort. It's just about how you look at your day, every day, really.
You know, I know we have a lot of women watching here right now, wives who, you know, their husbands might not be watching right now. What would your message be for them?
I would recommend going to the website. It's forgedinfatherhood.com. That's where we kind of have the information, what the 6 pillars are. We have the sign up for the event and so on. And never be afraid to reach out to me. I mean, I'm on social media. It's under my own personal name and Forged in Fatherhood, and to see if there's anything I can do to help.
Love it, Tyson. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Sounds great. We have more.